games into a season and talk about the possibility to talk to their parents, or?
We traveled Brad last week, not foreseeing complication, but we traveled him and told him that he may be, going in the ball game, so be ready. He was enthused about it, probably because he's from Toledo. He got 4 tickets to the game, so it worked out perfectly. But that's if he's got to go in, he'll go in and he'll do a good job. He's impressed us too over the last 8 weeks. He came in a little heavy and a little out of shape, but that's not unusual for first-year players. And he's really worked hard. And he looks on something that he did 2 months ago. So I'm really impressed with his attitude and his work habits.
Coach, this team seems to be so well grounded and poised with all of the outside pressures.
I think that's probably because they know what we know. We're just, our margin for error is really thin, and I think our players understand that, and they thus far at least, they really haven't seemed to be, very affected by anything going on outside, it's really a good thing, and that's it's a tribute to our leadership. We're getting really good leadership from our older players, not just our seniors, but our older guys. And I'll credit all of them for paying attention to last year's group, because I thought last year's group did an outstanding job. And we talked about that. We were coming out of East Lansing a year ago, 3-3, and that leadership we got from the older guys last year was outstanding. And I think it's it's been passed on to this team. So I'm pleased about that too.
Would you say it's fragile then?
Oh, I don't know that our team's fragile. We're just kind of getting it done, and that's the bottom line. That's what you get measured on, and I'm just you worry about how many cracks in the dike you can handle. One of those types of things. But the players keep playing. They're doing a great job. They really compete.
How do you think the offensive line fared after Dace went out early?
I thought they did fine. They did a good job, and it's again, it was a good defensive football game. I thought both defenses. It's amazing how. I think I said this last week. I think the programs mirror each other a little bit. We're different, but there's some similarities, if that makes sense. We play a different scheme, but what they do, they believe in, and there were so many parallels during the course of the game, ironically or interestingly. Goal line stands, big, huge parts of the ball game both ways, and you can question this or that, but I thought it was just great defense on both goal line stands by both teams. And so I guess where I'm getting to is, the yards were tough to come by the other day. They really were, but, we got our tailback ended up with 100 plus, and he did a nice job. He ran well, and the guys did a good job up front. They certainly did protect. They protected Rick in that last drive, and those guys brought some heat. They brought some pressure. So, they really rose to the occasion.
Was that kind of a silent catalyst on that last drive? Was the offensive line?
Everybody did a great job. It was everything working together, and that's what it takes to get it done in a series like that. The line starts up front. If you don't protect, you're going to have some problems. And Rick made great decisions. I thought he did all throughout the game. And Trey's play was a huge one. Taking that ball and advancing it up the field like he did, and right down to the end. Marvin talking to Ken and saying, I think I can beat this guy inside. And Ken came up with a great call. Everything just worked really well. And those are moments you remember.
There's a lot of talking in that last huddle. How is there a filtering process? I'm just curious.
Talking about it over on the sideline?
Yeah.
During the timeout. Yeah. Ultimately, Ken's going to make the call, and but we've talked about this, and I read some articles after I got home Saturday night, chronicling just we practice some democracy, not total democracy, but some democracy. Player input is really big, and players always give input, but it's really nice when it's accurate. And these guys have done a good job all season long in all phases. We're getting a lot of good information from the guys. They're thinking football, they're studying football, and winning teams have that kind of attitude. And this group's really been good.
It's Marvin's first year on the field. When do you get to the point where you trust what he says that he's seen?
Yeah, it just think about how far he's come in a year's time, less than a year's time. It's yeah, it's amazing. It's a real credit to him. He's worked extremely hard, and I wouldn't have envisioned, certainly that wouldn't have happened a year ago. So that's a fun story there to see him come on like he has.
What's it going to take, Kurt, to get the offense to perform as well as they did in that last minute the rest of the time?
That's football. I mean, that's football, and if Michigan State hadn't been quite so stingy defensively, we might have done better. But that was a good defensive football team we played the other night, and it's just football. I mean, you're going to have games where, as I said, we go 58 minutes the other night with neither team getting in the end zone, and then both teams scored. Take it right down the field and execute. So that's just that's the ebb and flow of the game, and that's going to happen. But nothing good's going to happen if you don't keep pressing. And that's a credit to our players. They keep pressing.
Have you been superstitious at all during this winning streak? Maybe wearing the same shirt or anything like that?
No. Again, if there's one good thing about going 1-10, all the superstitions, the things you track and all that. And I'll catch myself like every now and then. Last week I did this, and then I remember, it really doesn't matter. Really, it's our players, what they do counts a lot more than what tie I wear, all that stuff. So I've kind of gotten over that.
Coach, just looking at this week's game, what type of challenges does Indiana's front four present, especially like for your offense, like when it's going to be moving the ball and not having Robinson back there?
It's interesting. If you're going to do a feature on this thing, I mean, our veteran guys match up on their veteran guys. We're a little bit more veteran at tackle right now, and they got two outstanding defensive ends, and then they're very young inside, and we're not. We're kind of young. I mean, Reef, he's a 5, 6, 7 game veteran now. So Riley's a young guy. Julian's, working back from his injury, trying to get back to where he was in January. And then Roth really is playing good football for us, so he's helped stabilize things. But they're very young inside, and they're very experienced on the outside. And both those guys on the outside wore us out. Both 57 and 92 wore us out 2 years ago here in our stadium. We couldn't block them all day long. That's still kind of vivid in my mind right now. So we need to be ready to go.
Just as a follow-up to that, do you feel like having the experience on the outside yourselves with Brian, what kind of?
Yeah, we're better than we were 2 years ago, and I think they probably are too. Those guys have got 2 years of experience since that time, but they were really playing well in 07, and we couldn't match their tempo out there. So, Brian was playing inside that year. I think he was injured that game, if I remember correctly. But in fact, I'm sure he was. He wasn't in the game. But in fact, Dace was our left tackle in that ball game, and Kyle was on the right side. So I mean, that was we got worn out, and we did a little better job last year. So hopefully we can hold the line there.